Alright guys, today's video is another application of trace minerals in keeping with my goals for the year. I have another bag of Azomite and I'm going to do a follow-up video to this once this is broadcasted completely and I've used all of it up, and then I'm going to explain the experimental run. It'll basically be the end of my experiment using this particular type of mineral, if you want to call it that. So I'll get into much greater detail on what I think. Does it help? Does it not really help? You know, there's definitely some pros and cons to this. So I think you just need to be aware of that. If you wish to continue using it, that's purely up to you. But right now, my main focus is, while this is snowing, I didn't have a chance to do this yesterday. My work schedule was changed because of the snow we're getting now. So I'm working on broadcasting mineral in here. Technically like it's raining just about. I mean, the way this is functioning. So I'm getting trace mineral to partially absorb as the snow melts. Also, for you all that want to frost seed, this is an excellent time to frost seed. Birds will have a very hard time finding it. You know, plots in this type of location can be loaded with rabbits, squirrels, groundhogs, even though they're kind of dormant right now. But the other animals can definitely find them, raccoons, and because of this snow cover, they're highly likely they won't find them. Should cover them up and everything should be good to go. I can see the sun's trying to poke out, but that won't last long. Not at all. Alright, so basically, as in previous videos, we are broadcasting into the snow this time, and I'm basically, if you really look at the back of the bag and read what's on the bag, this is basically a whole bunch of silica that I'm putting out, even though it does have other type of minerals mixed into it. So at least I'm boosting my silica content in this soil, trying to make sure this is adequate. I do have some future soil tests coming, and I want to make sure this is worked in good before I do any soil testing in February time frame. I'm sure some of these plants will be fine with this stuff, and maybe others won't. My once white snow is now turning tan. Now it looks like a whole bunch of dirty snow, but this stuff will dissipate slowly become engulfed in the snow. At least it's easy to see where you broadcasted it. That's definitely an advantage when you're out here in the snow. You can at least see where it's going, how much you've covered, any thin areas that need some help. This silica will help strengthen these plants, because I'm sure based on some of the evidence I've seen, I think I'm a little short on silica in places. Not a lot, but enough to where I'm concerned that it needs more. Now the thickness that you apply this at is up to you. If your soil's in really good shape, I probably wouldn't waste my money. Not at all on this. And based on our forecast, we're probably going to get about anywhere from 3 to 6 inches of snow. So that's 2 decent snows in a year for us. We don't usually get too many. But this will definitely be trace minerals, and with the snow, nitrogen fixing for my plants. So I'm sure the bacteria, once this unthaws, will be very happy with it. Now I don't have to go too much further than where I'm broadcasting it way over there, because I stopped about 5 feet in front of this oak last time. Somewhere right in there. And I'm hoping to see a bit of a difference this year in spring and summer plants. Should be a nice upgrade up here with growth. So far, the sun's still holding. I think I pretty much have filmed enough. I will finish broadcasting and relay the final piece into here so you can see how much coverage that I'm getting. So hang tight, guys. All right, here we go, part 2. I don't know how well the camera's going to pick this up, but anywhere you see all this dirty looking snow is the powder Azomite that I threw out. Now, I want to reiterate this before I continue on. I am only experimenting with this. So just be aware, I'm going to do the video. I know I said it in the first part, but I'm saying it in the second part to emphasize this is an experiment. If you choose to experiment with this, that's fine. That is completely up to you on how you want to handle this. But I'm going into a much deeper dive on this to really help you and guide you. I'm not putting this out just because I think it's working. It's something deeper than that I want to discuss, and why this is going to be the final experimental run with this, and I'll explain the results. All right, so let's get back on track here. So 1 44-pound bag, depending on how thick you want to cover it. So we're basically starting right in front of this oak. We go right to about the middle of the milo that I left standing. We encompass this whole side here. You can see all the, see now I can easily see it through here. All this dirty looking snow down through here. Oop, missed a piece of cardboard. I'll get that out of there. And then we've looped around to the really poor side. All this right here has underperformed from the start. This backside here was full of underperforming plants. So I got all the way to where that burned out stump is. I didn't cover, well, there's actually very small amounts of it in here. I just don't think the camera's going to do that good of a job unless I get really close. You can see fine amounts of powder, you know, good patch of it. I actually kind of dropped a little bit right there. I may scatter that a little thinner, but you get an idea. That's not too bad a coverage. I would say a little more than 1/8 of the area for one bag, somewhere in there. And of course, if you throw this out thinner, then you could probably encompass this whole island with that one bag, or at least half of it, depending on what you want to do. So the next target is over here, and I'm pretty much doing the same thing you're seeing here. Put more out. Boosting silica is the main goal of this, and we'll get into the trace mineral part on the deep dive. So the island's doing really good. Deer are destroying it. That's probably my most active camera now. Other than the food plot cameras are now picking up the pace. So I'm very happy with what I see here. And we will conclude the Azomite experiment. All right, guys. I hope you gained some knowledge from these videos. And again, whatever works for me may not necessarily work for you. You have different soil types, different nutrition levels. So if you see me broadcasting, let's say 50 pounds of trace mineral somewhere, and you go out and do the same thing, you might overload your soil. So be very mindful of that when I'm doing videos on trace minerals. I don't want you overcooking your ground, just in case, guys. That's all that's for, is just in case. If you got pretty good soil or great soil, you know, these levels that I'm putting out are way too much. All right, hang in there, guys. More to come on trace minerals, as that's my focal point feature. And I may have something for this area cooked up this year. I'm waiting to see. I need to ask a small bit of permission before I do anything here. I'm not cleaning or cutting down trees. So there's your clue. All right, guys, have a good one.